Hi, today I'm going to be doing another book review. This is the book here. It's called Compelled by Love by Heidi Baker. This is a kind of an interesting book. I wish I could really do it justice, but I can't. It's just hard to do it justice. If you read it, I'd suggest reading it with an open heart and an open mind. But what I thought is interesting about it is, this person does a lot of, her ministry, which is Iris Ministries. They do a lot of miracles in the country of. It mostly takes place in Mozambique, Africa, and they do stuff like you would see in the Book of Acts, or like Jesus did with raising people from the dead, or multiplying food, or um, healing blind, lame, and sick. But mostly it's about how she, loved. She had this ministry of helping out orphans and very poor people of Mozambique. And she was at the point where she saw some, like, it seemed, I think if she saw a kid on the street, she would take them in, or if it was an abandoned or orphaned kid. So she was doing stuff like this, and all because of her love for Christ. And uh, so that's basically what the book is about. All kinds of stories that she. The book has a lot of different stories that of the different things that she do. Like one such story, she talks about how when the church was persecuted, the government, thought they were, collaborating against the government, so they try to shut them down. And they even took all the food they had, and I think she said all we had left was ketchup and sticks. So she was wondering, well, maybe I should feed the kids, ketchup on sticks for tonight. And then they were worshiping, and all of a sudden this truck showed up and gave them a ton of food. So there's all kinds of stories like that. I think with the remainder of my time, I think I'm just gonna, find quotes in here that I like, that I highlighted, and see what you think. There's a lot of quotes I've noticed she's used by Mother Teresa, which I'll be honest, I wasn't really too into Mother Teresa before, but I might actually look into her now, based on some of the quotes that she used by Mother Teresa. Um, she talks about this prayer in Swahili. She mentions this prayer in Swahili. It's Shika Baba, which means hold on to the Father. Um, Another thing that she mentions is those who have much are often quick to accumulate and slow to give away, yet those who have little are quick to share. They often give without remembering, they receive without forgetting. The poor are truly rich for the simplicity of their devotion. Here's a quote by Mother Teresa that I kind of liked. It says, "Today it is very fashionable to talk about the poor. Unfortunately, it is not fashionable to talk with them." Um, okay, the next thing I'll mention is, oh, I really like this one here. Children have the keys to the kingdom. They are more trusting than adults. Children believe in miracles until they are taught by some adult that believing things unseen is silliness. A 4-year-old child in any culture has faith in miracles. Then an adult comes along and teaches them not to believe. Um, let's see. Rich or poor, if you are tired of hiding from the world's problems and want to partake of God's nature to bring life to the dead, Jesus is more than enough. We need God and we need each other. There's just so many good things in this book. I'm just giving you a small handful of them with the remainder of the time that I'm going to use. Many believers in the church are frustrated because they don't see a harvest. They're discouraged because they see so little fruit being produced. They wonder why, but they keep going to the same people. And then further down it says, God says there are no excuses, but believers keep going to the wealthy and well fed in the world, wondering why they don't respond. There are just so many lost in the first world nations, yet the church is often not equipped to reach them. I think that she's trying to, she's trying to explain, things about the Western church. Um, Ministry, however, is simply about loving the person in front of you. In the same way, we can also use our suffering to comfort those who are mourning. God can use even the worst things from our lives and turn them into something good if only we let Him. Like I said, there's so many stories in this book about just the different people that have been touched through this Iris Ministries. Um, here's something she says. Since I received this vision, Iris Ministries has gone from caring for 320 children to close to 7,000 children for months during the flooding of the Zambezi River in 2007. God provided through His people, and we were feeding about 50,000 people every day. And it's my understanding that many times since she's been doing this ministry, they have to pray for food every day, and they're always amazed that God seems to be providing food every day. Here's a good quote, and I think this talks to me a lot here. It says, "Many of us have been spiritually starved for so long that we do not even know how to eat." Oh, here's another good quote by Mother Teresa. The world today is hungry, not only for bread, but hungry for love, hungry to be wanted, to be loved. They're hungry to feel that presence of Christ. In many countries, people have everything except that presence, that understanding. That's why the life of prayer and sacrifice comes to give that joy, that love. I mean, by being contemplative, you are to be that presence, that bread of God's to break. Let's see. They believe that mercy triumphs over justice and forgiveness always wins. So the boy was forgiven and released from the church's custody. This is something she said about this. There is this story about this boy who beat up this pastor until I think the pastor died, and I think he was dead for like an hour or so, and he came back to life, and the police found the one of the kids who did this to him, and the church was like, no, let's forgive him, let's bring him into the church, and finally, when the church just kept refusing to press charges, they released this boy into the church's custody. So that's what that quote's kind of about. Um, I mean, like I said, there's just so many good things in this book. I think I'm just going to leave it at that. So anyway, the book again was called "Compelled by Love" by Heidi Baker. I guess if I had to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being terrible, 10 being perfect, I'm going to give it a 9. Um, and so, yeah, that's where I'm at. I think the one thing I'd like to add is, I'm kind of curious. Why is it churches and maybe I didn't see this really explained well in her book, and this is maybe why I'm giving it a 9. Maybe she did explain it and I missed it, I'm willing to admit, but I'd like to know, why is it churches in the West, or more specifically the United States, aren't doing these amazing things that are happening in this book? So anyway, that's my book review. Take care and God bless.